Hello everyone. So let us discuss a problem based on the properties which we have learned in our previous lecture. Okay. So here the first example. See, a set function C defined on all subsets of R. What is given? C is a function which defined on a subset of set of real number is defined as follows. Define C of E to be infinity if E has infinitely many members and C of E to be equal to the number of elements in E if E is finite. Okay, so define C of phi is equals to 0, then show that C is a countably additive and translation invariant set function. This set function is called as a counting measure. So here you have to show that the function is defined. Here C is a function which is defined if set E has infinite number of elements, then the function C on that particular set E is defined as the number of element in that set. Okay, is infinity and is defined for finite set is number of element in that set. Okay, so in the solution we have to show that C is a countably, first we show C is a countably additive. Okay, that means we have to show the property. What is that property? C of union k runs from 1 to infinity ek is equals to is equals to summation k runs from 1 to infinity C of ek. This is property of countably additiveness. Okay, so in which we consider case first. Suppose that E is a finite, then let E is written as k runs from 1 to infinity ek. Okay, so see here E is written as summation k runs from 1 to infinity ek, where each ek is finite, and therefore C of ek, if ek is finite, then C of ek is equals to number of elements in that ek. Okay, so according to definition it is number of element in ek. So see here, that means C of union of ek is equals to number of element in that union, that is union k runs from 1 to infinity ek. So this is written as number of elements in E1 union E2 union E3 and so on, union En and so on. Okay, we don't know how many sets are there, infinite union. Okay, countable collection of ek is there, therefore this is written as number of elements in E1 union E2 union E3 and so on, union En. Okay, so which is equals to number of elements in E1 if we apply the function C on this set. So is written as number of element in E1 plus number of element in E2 plus number of element in E3 plus number of element in E4 and so on, plus number of element in En plus and so on. Okay, so this is what number of element in E1 or number of element in En is defined as function is defined by function C. So which is nothing but C of E1 plus C of E2 plus C of E3 plus and so on, C of En plus and so on. So that means what? Here summation k runs from 1 to infinity C of ek. So here we consider this C of union k runs from 1 to infinity ek, and we obtain which is equals to summation k runs from 1 to infinity C of ek. That means the property of countably subadditive, countably additivity is satisfied. Okay, now consider the case second. If ek is infinite set, then what? So if ek is infinite set, then for some k belongs to I, let E is equals to union k runs from 1 to infinity ek. Okay, for any k, E is written as union k runs from 1 to infinity ek. As ek is infinite set, then its measure is then its C function, if apply the function C on ek, then its value is infinity. Okay, so as E is equals to union k runs from 1 to infinity ek and ek is infinite set, therefore E is also infinite set, right? Because if because after applying C on that we will get infinity, that means C of E is infinity. Okay, now C of E is equals to C of union of Ek, that means C of E1 plus C of E2 plus and so on C of En. So we have k runs from 1 summation k runs from 1 to infinity C of Ak. That is the property of countability additivity is satisfied by that function C. Now see, the function C is translation invariant. We have to show the function C is translation invariant. Let y be any number, then translate E by y. We have to translate E, the set E by y. So it is written as E plus y, which is equals to set x plus y such that x belongs to E. So if E is a finite, then C of E is also finite. Okay, and C of E plus y is also finite, because we know that after translation the number of elements in that particular set and the sets which we obtain after translation are same. Okay, therefore C of E is equals to C of E plus y. Also if E is infinite, then C of E is equals to C of E plus y is also infinite, and hence this theorem this is the answer of that question. Okay, next see Lebesgue outer measure. Next concept is Lebesgue outer measure. See, for a set A of real numbers, consider the countable collection Ik, where k runs from 1 to infinity, of non-empty open bounded interval that cover A. That means what? Ik is any countable collection of a sets, then of non-empty open and bounded, where each interval Ik or Ik is a set which is open set and bounded and open and bounded interval. Okay, these are open and bounded interval. Okay, over and that cover that set A. C. That means what? A is A of real number. A set A of real number, consider the countable collection Ik. A is a subset of real number. Suppose that A is a set, then there is a countable collection of intervals which are open and bounded. That means this interval. These are some intervals which cover the set. These are interval Ik's. Okay, which cover the set A. Then that is the collection for which A is a subset of union, k runs from 1 to infinity, Ik. For each such a collection, consider the sum of the length of the interval in the collection. Okay, you have to consider length of each interval. Okay, then we define the outer measure of A is as m star of A to be infimum of such a sums. Okay, that means m star of A is equals to infimum of summation k runs from 1 to infinity. Definition is here. M star of A is equals to infimum of summation k runs from 1 to infinity length of Ik, where A is a subset of union of Ik. So what is given? That suppose a set is given, so A is a set of real number, and in which there is a countable collection of open and bounded interval which covers that set A. Then outer measure for that, and second condition is what? That A is a subset of union of Ik. Okay, then you have to consider, measure of each interval is its length. So here open and bounded interval is given, that is why you have to consider the sum of lengths of the interval, and the collection or the infimum of such a sums is what? Your outer measure of that particular set A. Okay, so your definition is m star of A is equals to infimum of summation k runs from 1 to infinity length of Ik, where A is a subset of union k runs from 1 to infinity Ik. So, and next condition is m star of phi is 0, outer measure of phi. Outer measure of empty set is 0. And third, since any cover of set B is also cover of any subset of B, therefore outer measure is monotone in the sense that if A is a subset of B, then M star of A is subset of is less than or equals to M star of B. That is property of monotonicity which we have seen. Okay, so this is what monotone, that means monotonicity. That is, if A is a subset of B, see, since any cover of set B is also cover of any subset of B, दैट मीन्स जो सेट ए को कवर करेगा और जो सेट बी को कवर करेगा वो सेट ऑब्वियसली उसके सबसेट को भी कवर करेगा. ओके, सपोज दिस इज सेट बी एंड देयर इज अ सेट, suppose this set C which covers that B. Okay, then suppose this A is a subset of that set B, then if C covers B, then C obviously cover A. Okay, therefore if A is a subset of B, then M star of A is a subset of M star of B. That means by that definition, infimum of length of intervals which covers A is less than or equals to infimum of length of intervals which covers B. Okay, see the example. A countable set has outer measure 0. That means you have to show if you have a countable set, then its outer measure is 0. Let C be a countable set. Suppose that C be any countable set, that is C is equals to, C is written as collection of Ck, k range from 1 to infinity, because C is a countable set. Therefore C, let epsilon greater than 0 be any number. Okay, epsilon be any number and which is positive. Then for each natural number k, define, then for each natural number k you have to define the interval Ck minus epsilon upon 2 raised to k plus 1 to Ck plus epsilon upon 2 raised to k plus 1. The countable collection of open intervals Ik, k runs from 1 to infinity, which covers C. What is that Ik? Ik we define is Ck minus epsilon upon 2 raised to k plus 1, comma Ck plus epsilon upon 2 raised to k plus 1. What is Ck? Ck is the collection of intervals. Okay, so C, therefore C is equals to, C is a subset of union of Ik, obviously. Okay, by that definition of outer measure, therefore 0 is less than or equals to M star of C, which is less than or equals to M star of union of Ik. So 0 is less than or equals to M star of C, which is less than or equals to summation k runs from 1 to infinity length of Ik by definition. So which is equals to summation length of Ik means what? Summation k runs from 1 to infinity Ck plus epsilon by 2 raised to k plus 1 minus Ck upon Ck plus epsilon upon 2 raised to k plus 1. So Ck will get cancelled and you have 2 times epsilon upon 2 raised to k plus 1. So this 2 and here 1 2 will cancel, so will remain epsilon upon 2 raised to k, summation k runs from 1 to infinity epsilon upon 2 raised to k. Okay, so this will be 0 is less than or equals to M star of C, which is less than or equals to summation k runs from 1 to infinity epsilon upon 2k. That last step is here. Okay, so 0 is less than or equals to M star of C, which is less than or equals to epsilon upon vary k over this 2 raised to, over this epsilon upon 2 raised to k, over this summation. Okay, that means it is, if k is equals to 1, then it is epsilon upon 2, if k is equals to 2, then it is epsilon upon 4 plus epsilon upon 8 and so on. So after addition you will get which is equals to epsilon, and therefore for any number you can find 0 is less than or equals to M star of C, which is equals to less than or equals to epsilon, and this inequality holds for each epsilon greater than 0, and therefore M star of C is equals to 0. Okay. Next, the proposition is there, which is important one. This example is also important, so we will see that is in our next lecture.